You may look at this coin and see the familiar. The date, the face, the portraits, the design, elements you've perhaps seen 100 times before. But therein lies the secret. In certain coins, what seems familiar hides subtle differences, minuscule anomalies, and hidden stories that only the most observant collectors ever notice. And when those differences come together just right, value skyrockets. Today, I want to take you on a journey through history, minting processes, die varieties, condition grading, collector psychology, and market trends to show you how a 2008 20-cent coin could become something extraordinary. By the time we reach the end, I want you to see that small coin in your hand, or the one you might stumble across, with a completely different set of eyes. The story begins with origins. The 20-cent coin itself is not ancient or medieval, but modern. Many nations have adopted coins of 20 cents as part of decimal currency systems. Most 20-cent coins are workhorses of everyday commerce, making change, sitting in pockets, being exchanged countless times. Rarely do they draw attention, but there have been moments in coin history when even the everyday becomes extraordinary. In 2008, a particular minting run of 20-cent coins was produced. Most of these went into circulation, served their duty, wore down over time. Over the years, many were lost, damaged, melted, or forgotten in jars or piggy banks. As with all coins, survival in pristine condition becomes rare with age and use. But even among those that survive, many hold only modest collector value. That's normal. Coins in worn condition with scratches, nicks, or faded reliefs are frequent. The real interest lies in those coins that avoided the ravages of circulation, remained crisp, sharp, with all details intact. Those are the ones collectors covet. And then there are the ones with special anomalies or rarities, misstrikes, errors, rare dies, planchet defects. Those can push performance far beyond what you'd expect for a day-to-day coin. For this 2008 20-cent coin, collectors have identified a handful of features that raise its status. One factor is the die used. The minting of coins is done with dies, the engraved metal stamps that press the design into blank planchets. Coin blanks. Over time, dies wear, crack, or shift. Subtle variations between dies can produce small but detectable differences in details. The angle of serifs on numerals, spacing of date digits, alignment of design elements, thickness of rims, or even doubling when a design element is struck twice slightly off. Such minute variations are often the path to discovering a variety, one that is scarce. Another factor is the planchet quality. The metal sheet from which blanks are punched must be of consistent thickness and composition. Sometimes an edge is thinner, sometimes a blank may contain impurities or lamination flaws, layers peeling. If a blank is slightly off but still struck and survives, that coin becomes a curiosity. In many cases, coins with planchet flaws are rejected or scrapped, but occasionally one escapes into circulation. Third, the strike quality matters. A full strike, when the coin blank is pressed fully, so all design features appear in crisp detail, commands higher interest than a weak strike. In a weak strike, some design elements may be faint or missing. In a full strike coin, even the tiniest filigree or lettering inside the design is clear and sharp. Fourth, condition and preservation play a central role. Collectors assess condition under magnification in grading slabs. Any contact marks, hairlines, scrapes, surface oxidation, toning, or environmental damage can degrade a coin's grade and its value. Coins in mint state, especially those graded at top levels, MS65, 66, or higher, depending on the grading system, are much more desirable. But rarity and condition aren't enough by themselves. Collector demand, market sentiment, and historical interest also influence value. A coin that's historically interesting, say, because of a mint error or low mintage or unusual story, draws more buyer attention. And when hundreds or thousands of collectors compete, the price escalates. Let's imagine that among the many 2008 20-cent coins struck, only a small number exists that satisfy all these favorable conditions. Rare die variety, perfect strike, perfect planchet, and pristine state. Among those few, a single specimen might emerge as best-known example. That specimen becomes legendary. People talk about it, display it, photograph it in auction catalogs, conduct provenance research. Who owned it? where it was found, how it's been stored. But how do collectors or dealers spot such a specimen? How do you go from a box of coins to identifying a gem? First, you examine. Use a strong loupe or microscope. Look for sharpness in the highest relief areas, the portrait's hair strands, ear lobe detail, fine lines. Check the rims for completeness. Inspect the date numbers. Do the serifs look clean or fuzzy? Observe the spacing between digits or design elements. Compare side by side with known normal examples. Use reference catalogs or databases of die varieties or error coins. Second, you compare with known varieties. Many collectors or numismatic research groups publish findings of known die varieties. These might catalog type A, type B, slight doubling on the 2, in the date, extra spur on the 8, or alignment shifts. Having access to such references is critical. When your coin matches one of the rare varieties, you've discovered a candidate for higher value. Third, you assess for any error or anomaly. Look for doubling, design struck twice. Die cracks, thin raised lines on the coin where the die cracked. Cuds, pieces of die break off, leaving raised blobs on the coin. Planchet lamination or splits, thin flakes peeling. Off-center strikes. Clip, where part of blank is missing, misalignment or foreign object impressions. Even minor anomalies can dramatically increase interest. Fourth, you check for authenticity and tampering. Some unscrupulous actors might try to enhance coins, re-etch details, polish surfaces, or retoning. Careful chemical or physical treatments can alter surfaces. Graders look for signs of chemical cleaning, hairline polishing marks, unnatural shine, unnatural color, or streaks. Authenticity is crucial. A faked, rare variety is worthless. Professional grading services or coin experts help validate. Fifth, you encapsulate with grading. Once you feel confident in its quality and rarity, you submit the coin to a